Can you get a suitcase in a McLaren? It fits. This is actually the McLaren that we built back in April. Around April, the one that spun a rod bearing. So this is that exact car. Unfortunately we never got to finish that video, but here is the car. Absolutely amazing. Buy a McLaren. So basically this is what they do, right? Hold up your snap barcode. Imagine you stole my phone and disappeared. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Hi brother, how are you? Brother, give me your account, YouTube account.
If that happened in the UK, they would just steal your phone and like, not give it back to them. Alright guys, we've just arrived at Auto House. The client Majed is inside. We're going to go and chat to him about the build. From there, hopefully we're going to strip the engine today, get the condition of the engine from the inside, send all the parts away for cleaning. From there we will plan out when we're going to begin the reassembly process. We're still waiting on the cylinder heads coming from the UK and the turbos coming from the USA. So two things we're waiting for, but other than that, the build should be going ahead as planned. We're at Auto House today. It's not like the other workshop that we were in Al Quoz last time. It's a lot better. I'm going to show you guys around. It will be a much better environment to work in than last time. Hello, how are you?
Awesome thing.
Yeah, good man. So the engine is out. I'm going to strip it down today and send away everything for cleaning. Now, there's two options that we obviously spoke about. One was the wet blasting and the other is ultrasonic. Do you know anyone that does ultrasonic in Dubai? I'll ask Nuno. No. Yeah. Ultrasonic, so, okay, the one why I was thinking ultrasonic, the water goes everywhere inside. You know, with the wet blasting, it's only gonna where they hit it. Okay. With the wet blasting, you can't hit like inside the galleries of the engine block. So after thinking about it, I think ultrasonic would be a better option.
Let's go with the method that you have.
Yeah, ultrasonic because basically they put it on the water and the vibrations of the water clean everything.
Okay.
So when they submerge it, everything gets clean. But with the wet blasting, it's gonna look nice from the outside, but I'm not sure if the inside of everything is gonna be clean.
Let's follow your method.
So I'll ask Nuno about the if he's got any with ultrasonic. I'm sure he will. I'll see if there's anything inside, but to be honest, you're replacing everything. Yeah, there's nothing left. Unless there's like a big hole inside your engine, there's nothing left, you know, which there isn't. So yeah, I guess we're ready for 1500, 1600. Looking forward to it, man. It'll be a really good build.
So excited.
Plan is today, get all this stripped, send the block off for cleaning. That's about it for now. Then we're going to wait for our CNC heads to come back from the UK before we begin the assembly. Status update. I just checked into my apartment and there was a cat in the room. Not only was there a cat in the room, it left a nice present for me on the nice over there. And now it's decided it's going to hide behind the oven. I'm so tired. Just want to relax. Where is it going now? Oh, going the wrong way. Look, that's scared now. There we go. Look, it's so long. That's such a shame. We're going to another hotel because it was like they're going to exterminate the apartment tomorrow. Casualty. These are the thermostats, and there's supposed to be a C-clip to retain this on the bottom of the thermostat, but for some reason the C-clip has obviously fallen off and went into the engine. These are pretty common to fail on the earlier McLarens. I believe McLaren revised the part and they don't fail as much on the newer ones, but they are a common issue on the older McLaren. So if you've noticed on your McLaren your coolant temperature fluctuates, or when you're on the motorway it's at like 60 to 70 degrees, your thermostats are probably shot. In Berlin, Acid's car, it spun the crank hub. So what we've noticed now is that some McLarens come pinned from the factory. So there's a pin here, a recess for the pin to go into on this side, and that basically locks the crank hub into place on the newer McLarens. We've noticed it on 2020 and newer McLarens, but the older McLarens, they don't have a pin. So it's just a friction washer in between and no pin to lock it, and it's just a bolt to hold it down. So on the really high horsepower McLarens, the crank hub spins, and when it spins obviously it loses the timing and bends all the valves. So we will be pinning this crank to avoid that happening again on another car. But yeah, that's just one of the changes that McLaren made from the factory, and we're going to apply it to this car. Check this out. This is again different. So you get some McLarens that are pinned. So there's a pin in the crank and there's a recess in the crank hub, and they just slot in together. You get other McLarens which are completely blank on the crank, and this is probably the first one that I've seen that it's got the recess on both sides for a pin, and it's got a hole in the friction washer for a pin, but there's no pin in it. So I mean, that makes our job a lot easier. It means we just need to put a pin in it and it's done, but it shows that they're obviously still messing it out at the factory. It's almost as if they forgot to put this pin in. It's really odd. I don't understand why some of them have it and some of them don't. We found out the hard way on Acid 720S when it spun the crank hub in Berlin. If you're going for really high horsepower on your McLaren, it's definitely something that you should check to see if it's got a crank hub pin, because at really high horsepower levels they do seem to spin. Very similar to like the F80 M3s and M4s. Alright, so engine dismantled. We're going to send all the parts off for ultrasonic cleaning. We will be back to reassemble it once the parts are returned. Bro, I'm too hot right now, you can't be filming me. What a nightmare, man. Like,
it never is smoothly with you though.
honestly. So COP28's going on as well, so everywhere's like fully booked. Can you believe a cat pissed in my apartment? Like, out of all the things that could have happened. So I basically have nowhere to stay. I'm just like yo-yoing between hotels, and they forced me to check out today because they ran out of rooms. I'm like homeless in Dubai. Can you
And there's
imagine?
worse places to be homeless.
That's our crank hub fix. All done. Simple as that. We have Senna oil pump, Senna cams. So what we saw with the Senna cams, we were able to make the same power with a lot less boost from the turbocharger. So we had one car making 1100 wheel at 2.6 bar of boost, and we had another car making 1100 wheel with Senna cams and 2.1 bar. With the Senna cams, the volumetric efficiency of the engine went up, which means we can ultimately run more boost and make more power. Obviously, the less boost you run a turbocharger at, the more efficient it's going to be. Efficiency is what we're kind of trying to target when we're doing a really big build, because the better the efficiency is, the more power it's going to make, and the more reliable the setup will be. Senna head gaskets. We noticed on the GT3 engine that we were stripping from McLaren as well, they come with Senna head gaskets or triple layer head gaskets as default now. The 765LT and the 750S also have triple layer head gaskets from default. I spoke to someone in the GT3 racing team, and they said that they switched, well, on the GT3 cars they were having issues keeping the head sealed, so with the triple layer it adds another layer on there to give the head to the block a better seal. Oil pump seal, intake sound generator blanking bracket, intake sound generator blanking plug, a piston from the McLaren Senna, intake manifold gaskets, exhaust manifold gaskets, connecting rods, fuel pump itself, upgraded head studs from Magnus Motorsports, ARP L19 head studs and mains as well. You're not supposed to, because of the material is L19, you're not supposed to touch it with your fingers. Head bolts, map sensors, more gaskets, crank seal, main seal, turbocharger gaskets, downpipe gaskets, more pistons, fuel pump control module for the upgraded fuel pump, the wiring harness for the upgraded fuel pump as well. In this big bag we have spark plugs, valve stem oil seals, intake sound generator blanking plate, secondary air injection blanking plate. As I was opening the box we have an open wound on the ARP grease. Saturday night, let's check out the Dubai streetcar scene, or the meet scene, or see if there even is a scene.
You're going to be solely out your comfort zone here.
You're telling me the car's got an external oil cooler hanging out the bumper? So why did they put the oil cooler on the outside?
It's just jab things in it.
Deja vu, I just been in this place before.
Like maximum flow.
You guys give me the inputs now?
Yeah, I was on the other end of Dubai.
Oh yes, I want to see it. Ah!
Hi. Oh, nice to meet
Actually
you.
building it.
Alright, so now we're going to measure everything, make sure all the tolerances are in check, and begin the reassembly process for the shock block, and then we will move on to the cylinder heads. So these have come straight from Tim Radley at Race Developments in the UK. They are CNC ported heads that we've been working on with Tim for the past 3 or 4 months. This will be the first car to get us out. Right, so these are our heads that have been in development with Tim for the last 3 months. The intake side and the exhaust side has both been ported. It's quite a rigorous development process. It takes some time, it's testing. It's not just a case of getting a Dremel and making the intake and the exhaust ports as wide as possible. There's quite a process that Tim goes through to do this. Once he's got the design ready, he puts it into the CNC machine, and the CNC machine basically cuts out the inlet and the exhaust ports. So the idea is you maximize airflow going into the engine through the intake ports and coming out of the engine from the exhaust gas ports. Tim's been doing this for a very, very long time, and we use his heads on our 5-cylinder Daza engines, which do really well. We pick up around 60 to 80 reel on one of his Daza heads, and we also pick up around 200 to 300 RPM of spool. This is a world's first, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do. I'm expecting, if I get anything over 60 wheel, I'll be pretty happy. One thing with the RS3 heads as well, they've got the intake manifold, they've got a recess on the side for the intake manifold flaps, which Tim does away with. These don't, so we might not see as many gains on these, but let's see how it goes. So this McLaren 650S has just arrived from Saudi Arabia. It's going to be getting our stage 1 engine build, and Mohammed is going to be gunning for the quarter-mile world record on the 650S. I'll add his Instagram down there. You can give him a follow and keep up with his build.